My name is Ricky, and this is my RX-7.
What's up, brother?
Hey, hello.
High fives.
How are you, man?
Good. Ricky back for another episode with us here at throtl. Thanks to you guys from the family for joining us. Ricky was cool enough to bring down his RX-7 for us today. This is an FD3S 93 to 1995 for us here in the States, Series 6 RX-7. A lot of you guys ask why we call these cars FDs. The reason is the chassis code.
Yep.
FD3S. Yep. So short for RX-7, anything else we say FD. So Ricky,
Send it.
the boys have seen your car on the channel a little bit. We've teased them. But today's the day. We're gonna go in depth a little bit, and we're gonna walk around the car. We're gonna pop the bonnet on the front. We're gonna pop the hatch on the back, and we're gonna open the doors and show you guys around this machine. And I'm gonna let Ricky tell you all about it. So I'll shut up now and probably just ask questions. So Rick, why don't we pop the hood and start with where the money's made, brother?
Cool. So give me a quick one.
Ooh. All right, well, explain.
All right, so this is what you call a V-mount. A lot of RX-7 almost go with it because it's the best way to separate the heat from the intercooler. So pretty much my radiator is located in this angle while the intercooler is located like this. So if you really look at it, it looks kind of like a V, right? So the air splits open. One goes down to the radiator and the other air splits up through the intercooler.
So I see you have actually some shrouding.
The whole thing is completely shrouded all the way around.
That's cool. That's something I'm gonna need to do on mine as well.
Yeah, that works extremely well. The car runs very, very
so
cold.
It keeps the air actually coming through the front area of the nose. And you guys can probably see in there, there's some ducting, and that's the radiator you can see. And obviously this is the intercooler here.
Yep. It's got a 66mm turbo. This is Gretty. The piping is Gretty. It's got a 90mm rotary works throttle body. Gretty old catch can, AC remove. I still have my power steering.
Still have your ABS.
Still have, yeah, I gotta remove that. I still have my ABS. I have a twin spark HKS for my sparks.
So you get all the sparks?
All of it.
That all happens down there, but you can't see any of that stuff. So.
The more sparks, the better.
So this guy here, we can attribute to your 485 horsepower.
Correct. Yeah.
And a reliable engine build. Mm-hmm. So maybe we should go into that. What's been done to the engine?
So the engine was built about 7.5, 8 years ago, and that's still the same engine from 8 years ago, and it was built by JRX up in it's not even in this state. I think it's Oregon somewhere. I don't know. Some guy. JRX freaking built it. So the previous owner is the one that told me about it. I bought this car 2.5 years ago, and the engine was already done. What I did, I swapped the turbo, I swapped the fuel system, I did my blow-off valve. The V-mount was already done, but it does have a half bridge. My primary injectors are still the same. I still have 550 injectors, and that's for better drivability in the city. When you go too big, 1100, 1300 cc's primary,
2000.
Yeah, it's very, very sluggish in the.
Great.
For secondaries, I have 1675 cc's, and I have a RP fuel pump, which is like a 485.
Cool. So, if you guys watched our previous videos, you know this thing rips. We just redid the gearing in the rear end, so it has an even faster feel now. It's a lot more grunt down low. When you throw a big turbo on a car with small displacement, or a big turbo on any car really, it usually takes a while for it to spool up, and that in turn is called lag and makes a car feel sluggish at low RPM. Ricky changed the gearing, or we changed the gearing in the rear end, and man, it really woke this car up.
Yeah.
Not that it wasn't fast already.
Right. Very, very minimal turbo lag now.
Can we explain this, because a lot of people see these and don't understand what they're for? So this is a brace that mounts onto the chassis over here on the side, and then this is a brace that mounts onto the intake manifold of the engine block. So what does that actually accomplish, Rick?
It's pretty much an engine damper. It keeps the engine from rocking too much whenever you're shifting gears. So it just keeps everything intact instead of freaking doing all this craziness.
Yeah, that probably helps save on your engine mounts as well, the rubber.
Oh yeah, for sure it does.
All right, well that's the business end of this car. All right, so that's the engine. The next obvious thing to look at is the exterior, but I think we're gonna save that till last, because I want Ricky to explain the exterior of this car and why he did what he did to it. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to the interior, and the next logical place to go is the trunk, because I think there's some things back here that you don't normally see in an RX-7. So Ricky, why don't you explain to us what's going on back here? Is that like a nitrogen tank or something?
So you know what? Funny or not, I do get that a lot, man. That's just an air tank. It's a 5-pound air tank. It's got Air Force airbag suspension on it, and I went with dual pumps. I guess the more pumps the better, right?
Yeah, well, it makes air faster, so that's good. So what this is a holding tank. Those are the compressors. Those compress air when the air suspension system needs to be aired up. Yep. It's pumping air in that tank, and that holding tank holds it on board until Ricky needs to use it.
That's just a pressure switch. It's got a 180-pound pressure switch, and all the e-management system is under this. So I split this in 3 when I built it. That way when I take this out, I can reach the management system, and when I take this corner piece off, I can reach the fuel pump if I need to without taking the whole thing apart.
Ah, that's a good idea. And I see you removed the strut bar. Is that just for clearance for the tank?
For the tank, correct, yeah. In order for me to split it in 3, I had to move the tank back.
Yep.
And this strut didn't fit, obviously. I am planning on getting something custom around it.
Yeah, braces are bent, and yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Very tidy little setup. And you guys know how we love our air systems around here, so we're definitely proponents of this setup. Although I think we're gonna have to work on Ricky a little bit, maybe get him into some AccuAir stuff. We'll see. I gotta bend his arm a little bit. Anyway, so that's the trunk section. Pretty straight to the point, but very tidy. Cool with me.
Alright, so it's got a stock 5-speed transmission. It's got a short shifter. It's got a Vertex shift knob, Power FC engine management system, and you can't ignore that sparkle steering wheel. You cannot ignore that. That really gave this car some life.
Yeah. Limited edition.
No, and you really.
Oh hey!
Come on, baby. You can't drive without this when you're driving. You
gotta have it.
You have to.
So I see you have a fuel pressure gauge.
I do. I got a fuel pressure. I have boost in bars,
and then air fuel,
and then an air fuel wideband. And oh, dude, the cup holder. You have to show that. Look at this beast. And that's the one that flew away on the other video.
Yeah. So one of the well, actually, why don't you explain about the cup holder?
So FDs are known not to have cup holders. So this is actually the stock ashtray that I just grab a actual cup holder type that using RVs. I put it in and I kind of molded it with fiberglass and Bondo and whatever I could find just to have a cup holder. I don't know if you guys know, but I'm addicted to Coca-Cola. So I always have a can of Coke with me, and me in my FD and no cup holder is a bad day.
I'm gonna have to get me one of them.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. We'll make one for you.
So I see you're running a Power FC as well. I don't know if you mentioned that, but you guys are probably aware a lot of RX-7 or 13B owners run the Apex integration Power FC. That's the controller next to the hazard switch there above the shifter, and that also gives Ricky readouts directly from the ECU to that readout, where he can monitor things alongside the gauges that he has
so
here,
this car,
the stock gauges.
All the technology in this car is still from the 90s, and it works very well, and I don't want to change it until something bad really happens. But the injectors, the fuel injectors are from 90s. They're the old school Bosch fat injectors on it. The fuel reel is a KG part. That's early 2000s, late 90s. The Power FC is from 90s, early 2000s. So everything in this car, literally the whole technology on power, is from the 90s.
I see you also have a Valentine 1.
I do. That's also old.
That's a 90s spec.
Yeah.
90s spec Valentine 1, but if you know anything about radar detectors, Valentine 1s are...
It's still the number one
still
radar
the good
out
stuff.
there. Yep.
Well, let's talk about your door panels, Rick.
Yep.
Because, so, also, if you know anything about RX-7s, you know that door panels are basically the heel of an RX-7.
I already know where you're going with this.
So, it's a very cool modular design. It has a, an AC heater vent built in. You've got power mirrors, switches, power window switches, all very cool. And then I think the engineering just kind of fell off towards the back of the door.
Right.
So pretty much almost every RX-7 you'll ever see, these plastic trims are almost always broken. And somebody that has one that aren't broken is someone that really cares about their car and has replaced them at about $80 to $90 a piece. And then this here was some brilliant engineer's idea of a map holder.
A map holder.
Which, as you can see, this is my hand, and I do have kind of small hands, but that would be a really small map.
Yeah, you really have to fold it into a million pieces.
And so this normally has a cover on it.
Oh, I have it. You want to see it?
And so the first time I hung out with Ricky and his RX-7, I said, "Oh, are you missing your map cover too?" Hey, Rick. He's like, "Yeah, actually I have it, but it keeps, every time I slam my door, it falls off, falls into my chair, and then when I get in the car, I don't see it, and I sit on it and break it in half."
That's my third door.
It's your third one?
That's my third one.
So, if there's any CNC machinists out there, I think that RX-7 owners would love to own a CNC machined version of this cover that won't break. That would be cool.
Bam.
All right, well, that's the interior of Rick's car. I'll give a little more cinematic look here. He does have a Cusco colored rear harness bar and Takata harnesses, as opposed to stock seat belts.
All right, so it's got a full Vertex body kit.
Like actual Vertex?
Like actual Vertex full body kit.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's got Works GS4 19 by 10 wheels in the front, inches in the front, and 19 by 11 in the back.
Looks like you got some big brakes on here.
Yeah, it's got some Subtech big brake upgrade kits, and they work very well. They do get kind of dusty though. Everywhere I go, I gotta wipe down the wheels because of the dust from the brakes.
Dusty pads.
Yeah, they are.
And then what size are they in the back?
19 by 11.
All right. Now let's discuss these over fenders, because I noticed that these are carbon.
They are. So this is like my third set. I started with
Really?
Yeah, started with fiberglass ones, and then from there I just wanted them in carbon, and this is my second carbon set because the first one didn't fit very well.
Looks like we got pretty snug fitment there.
Yeah, she still rolls. So the way I adjusted the suspension for this in the airbags at the lowest point, I can still roll it back and forth.
Oh, that's cool.
Even though it doesn't.
Even though it's all the way down.
It doesn't seem like you can, but you actually can. It'll roll. It'll roll back and forth.
No, that's very functional. That's good. And then on the back we have also Vertex rear bumper.
Yep. Side skirts, rear bumper, front bumper is all Vertex. No, the steering wheel that I took out, it was also Vertex. The shift knob was Vertex.
Oh wow, you were trying to get a theme going there. I see you've got some residue on here, Rick. What's that from?
Yeah, so that was after the last time I tuned it. The flames were so big that this is literally from down the street to my house that it literally burnt the whole freaking bumper. So I had to extend the muffler 5 inches out. So the flames won't melt my bumper.
That's that rotary life there. And I've seen this thing blow flames on the freeway. Maybe we should insert a clip. I'm sure you have a clip of you.
Yeah, I got a few.
Well, now's the moment you guys have all been waiting for. I'm not gonna put my seatbelt on because we're just gonna go around the corner and I'm gonna hop out and do some exhaust filming so you guys can hear what this thing sounds like. You can obviously hear all the amazing noises it's making right now while I'm inside. And all the wonderful smells of premix. Yeah.
I love it.
Wow, I can't see us. All right, well, I just hopped out. Just want to do a little quick drive-by for you guys so you can hear what this car sounds like. He's not really going to get on it. We are in Mexico, but it is business hours, so we're going to keep it cool. Hey, is this my ride back?
Yes, sir. Come on over.
Oh yeah, this thing sounds incredible. Hopefully we don't attract any attention.
Never. If you guys like what you guys seen today on the video, please follow me on Instagram, branding_solo, for more pictures and videos of this car.